My name is Carrie Hollifield. I'm the registered dietitian for Charleston County School District, and today we are so excited to bring to you the first ever bite-sized nutrition video. Today we're going to be talking about Harvest of the Month. What is Harvest of the Month? So each month we bring to your cafeteria across the entire district a South Carolina grown fruit or vegetable that you can try for yourself on the cafeteria line. Today we have the Green Heart Project with us. This is Amanda, this is Allie, and this is Emma. And they're going to show you a recipe today using South Carolina grown green peppers and also the green peppers that are grown in your own school garden.
All right, everyone, as Carrie said, we are the Green Heart Project, and we are so excited to be here with you today to put a little pep in our step for the month of September. The green bell pepper is actually a fruit, as it holds the seeds of the plant and it grows from the flower. So in culinary terms, we do refer to it as a vegetable because we often cook it in a savory way. It's not necessarily sweet, but it is actually the fruit.
So did you know that this green bell pepper actually has more vitamin C in it than an orange? Who would have thunk that? So vitamin C is really good for our immune system, so it's going to keep you healthy. It also has vitamin A in it, which is great for our eyes.
All right, y'all, so like Amanda said, today we're gonna be making some stuffed peppers using our green bell peppers.
We're gonna be using corn, lime juice, garlic, cilantro, spices, olive oil, and black beans as well.
We wanna make sure that we're being safe in the kitchen by cleaning all of our produce, cleaning our space, and making sure we're using our kitchen tools safely. So the first thing that we want to do is I've washed my hands and I put on my gloves here. I also have my mask on to make sure that no germs get on any of the food that we're preparing today. We've also taken all of the produce, like our pepper, rinsed them with water to wash them off. I'm going to demonstrate for you a way that we can use our knife safely, which we call the bear claw. So I'm going to tuck my fingers in tightly so that they don't get cut. I'm going to put my bear claw down on the veggie, and then I'm going to cut carefully along the edge here so that my knife is moving down my finger and doesn't catch my fingers while I'm cutting.
All right, everyone, so we are excited to be here in the kitchen today. I will be hosting and touring you around. We're gonna start with Allie at our chopping station, because step one in this recipe is to prepare all of your produce.
So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna really carefully with my knife start to carve out any of the inside to make room for the yummy filling that we're gonna put in. So I'm gonna first off just take the seeds and carefully kind of pull them out from the top. And then I'm gonna use my knife to carve around the top, the stem of our pepper to get it out of the way. So it'll come off just like that now that I cut it. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mince some garlic. So this is gonna give it some really yummy flavor for us. And the trick for this is take your knife, lay it flat, and press down on the garlic clove, and it'll help to get this skin to come right off. So when the skin peels nice and easily, and then I'm gonna use my bear claw. I'm gonna carefully cut the edge of my garlic because that's not something we wanna eat. Take the ends off. And then I'm gonna do what's called a mince. So I'm gonna cut it really finely. So I'm gonna carefully cut really thin slices. And garlic has a pretty strong flavor, so I'm gonna cut about half of this clove. And so once I have it cut thin one way, I'm gonna stack it up. And using my bear claw, I'm gonna cut through it. And the next thing I'm gonna prepare is I'm gonna get my fresh corn ready. So our fresh corn comes in a husk, which we need to take off of the crop before we cook it. So right here we have, this is gonna be our compost pile, so all this stuff will go in our compost bin when we're done with our recipe today. But I'm gonna start by peeling off the outside of my corn cob. Once our corn has the husk off and all the hairs off, you'll see that it looks just like if you were to have a corn on the cob, or if you were to open up our frozen or canned corn, you'd see the little kernels. So obviously we're not gonna cook the entire cob because it has a hard center. So the next thing that I need to do is I need to get the corn kernels off of the cob for us to use in our recipe. So to do that, I'm going to take the flat side of my corn kernel and set it carefully on the edge of my cutting board. I'm going to hold the top here because it's a good way to keep a firm grip. And using my knife again, I'm going to carefully slice down the side. And if you don't feel comfortable doing this yourself, you could always ask an adult or someone else to help you because again, we want to make sure we're staying safe. And if you don't feel comfortable doing it, you can get someone else to help because that's always a good way to go. All right, so now that our corn is cut off the cob, I'm going to take my cob and put it right in our compost bin there. So we have our corn ready, we have our garlic ready, and the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut our lime in half so that we can juice it later on to use in our recipe. So to do that, I'm just going to cut it in half. So I'm going to use my bear claw, hold it down, put my knife, cut it.
Looks beautiful. So we've got our half pepper with the pith removed, our corn, our garlic, our fresh lime, and our cilantro. And we are ready to go over to Chef Emma, who's going to be cooking this all up in the skillet. We are here with Miss Chef Emma, who's going to be cooking up all of the delicious produce that Miss Allie cut up for us to make our stuffed bell pepper recipe. All right, and oh, who's that I see? We've got two friends visiting us from the garden, Miss Corn and Miss Pepper, who are going to be assisting Chef Emma as she makes this recipe today.
First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the induction burner. I then want to adjust the temperature so that it's about medium. It is super important that I stay with this hot space as I'm cooking. I never want to walk away. I always want to make sure that my eyes are on it. All right. Let's get started. Our first ingredient is our olive oil. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to safely and carefully pour in 1 teaspoon. Now we're going to add some garlic to give it a little bit of flavor. So I'm going to take this garlic that Miss Allie minced all up and I'm going to just sprinkle it all in there.
But I see our garlic is starting to turn a little brown. I think we might be ready to add the next ingredients.
I think we're ready. So we are going to take the recipe calls, and I'm doing a good job of carefully reading that recipe. I'm going to scoop out a half cup of my black beans. So here they are. Looks pretty accurate. I'm going to throw that in there. Listen to all those yummy sounds when we're cooking using all of our senses. And I'm going to take some of the corn, also a half cup, and throw them in there. I'm going to go ahead and mix all my spices in there. I'm just going to sprinkle them around, make sure no corn or beans are left unspiced. Now I'm going to add a little bit of lime juice. So I'm going to take my half lime juice that Miss Allie carefully cut for us, and I'm just going to squeeze it on there. I hear some really good sizzling sounds as I'm cooking. I'm going to mix that lime juice in there. I'm going to get a good scoopful. I might have to adjust my pan a little bit, get my half of the bell pepper. I'm just going to carefully put some of the insides, the stuffing, in there.
All right, friends, so this stuff is important. We could eat it just like this, right? This is a raw bell pepper, which I like to eat all the time. I snack on, or I dip in hummus or other things. But for this stuffed bell pepper, Miss Emma's putting it back in the pan so it gets nice and warm and maybe a little bit charred on the bottom.
At the end of every Green Heart lesson, we do a taste test. It's an opportunity to be really brave and try something new and expand your palate. So I encourage you when you're at home to be trying all these new foods, even if you think you might not like them. Before we start, let's use our 5 senses to explore what we're about to taste. What are some of the colors that you're seeing? I see some yellow, green, some brown, and some green. And then maybe talk about some of those smells. What are some adjectives we can use to describe the smells?
Warm.
Warm, okay. What else?
Spicy.
Maybe a little spicy. I can't wait to taste test that with our tongues.
Fresh.
Fresh, these are great adjectives. Go ahead, give it a taste. Ooh, I hear some crunching. So they're gonna give us a rating, either a 3 for this is the best recipe I've ever tasted, a 2 if it was good, a number 1 if I was super brave today, but this just is not for me. What do you guys think? Give it a rating.
I give it a number 3.
A number 3.
I give it a 3.
A 3, awesome. Thank you so much, Amanda in the Green Heart Project, for taking us through such a fun, delicious, and nutritious bell pepper recipe. Be sure to watch out for September 17th, whether you're at home or in the classroom, and try the stuffed bell peppers that will be on the line and through this video as well. Next month too, Harvest of the Month will be coming, and it's going to be butternut squash, so get ready for that. And I'm going to let Amanda talk a little bit more about some fun activities Green Heart Project has for you.
Thanks so much for having us here today, Carrie. We had a blast. So friends, if you liked this cooking recipe or you want to learn more about where bell peppers and other vegetables come from and learn about gardens and exploring the outdoors, we have launched an exciting program this fall called Green Heart at Home, which brings the garden and the kitchen classroom to you in an at-home setting. And there are self-guided lesson plans with videos and activities that you can follow along with your family. So make sure to check that out. Also just announced, for the month of September, we are doing our back to school fundraiser. And friends, we know this school year is going to look very different for a lot of you. You might be learning at home, you might be back in the classroom wearing masks and with other modifications like we had here today. But we're still celebrating back to school, and we are trying to raise $30,000 to help fund our Green Heart at Home program and in-person workshops that we'll be holding at our new urban farm right in downtown Charleston. So definitely come and check it out. Go to www.greenheartsc.org and you can learn more about our back to school fundraiser, find our online lessons, and sign up for some of our in-person workshops. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you for joining us for September's Harvest of the Month. We'll see you in October.